everyone. Welcome to this episode of Unraveling the Veil with your host, Yara Rose, also known as Katie Mosier from the yararose.com website. That is YARAROSE.com. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to have you here today. I wanted to just touch base with you and see how everyone is doing. I don't know about you, but the month of March has been interesting. The last couple of years, March for me has always been what am I willing to let go of in order to create the change in my life that I want? What am I holding on to that's preventing me from moving forward? And it seems to me like the last couple of years, March always brings these triggers that are just one after another. And it's just kind of the universe's way of saying, here, what about this? Do you want to bring this forward with you? Or do you want to include it as part of your spring cleaning? Are you ready to let go of it? Are you still going to allow this to define you? Or do you want to try something different? And as you can imagine, that has kept me very busy this month. It's just been one day after another. And I just want to be real with you. Sometimes that's a struggle for me. Sometimes I get overwhelmed just like all of you. And that's when I need to take more time for self care, take more time for inner reflection, take more time simply to be in the moment, to ground myself, to decide how I want to move forward, whether I want to continue spreading my energy between these dueling belief systems, which way I want to go, how I want to proceed. So I haven't had a lot of time to get on here and talk to you guys, but I'm like, if I'm feeling this way, then I'm sure all of you are being triggered in your own way. And maybe this is the month that you really need to hear from me about something. So here I am, just, being that lighthouse for you and commiserating with you. All of us on this personal growth, spiritual growth path, we go through these times in our lives where we want change so bad. We want to grow. We want to become the best version of ourselves. And unfortunately, that means that we have to let go of things that once defined us, things that once were these hard limits we never would have saw ourselves releasing or being comfortable releasing. They've become our safety net for much of our lifetime. They have defined who we thought we were. And it's not always easy to let go of them. But in order to live the life that we want, in order to live the life that we're trying to create for ourselves, we need to be willing to part with them. So I just wanted to jump on here and say, hey, I'm there with you. I totally understand it. You're going to make it through. And self-initiated change is not always pleasant, but it is always worth it. It always is. I've never regretted the outcome of going through these periods. I just know that they require a little extra finesse, a lot of extra self-love, forgiveness, and compassion, gentleness as we continue to navigate through the self-initiated transformation. And I also wanted to bring up, because this came up the other day in my external environment, that sometimes change isn't self-initiated. Sometimes change feels like it's happening to us and that we have no control over what just happened and how the chips are going to fall. And that does happen to a certain extent. I mean, I feel like on some level, our soul did agree for this to happen. We may not consciously be aware of it, but I feel like on some level, we called this experience into our life because it's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to change directions. It's an opportunity to shift. I mean, it could be slight. It could be a big change. Maybe you found out you need a new job. Maybe you had a baby. Maybe you are getting married. Maybe you're getting divorced. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is an opportunity for you to shift your perspective and be like, how can I learn from this? How can I use this to help me gain what I want out of my life? How can I level up? I was listening to a tarot reader the other day who was describing one of these tower moments for herself and how she had lost her job because of some drama and lies that were told about her at work. And she gave herself a little bit of time in the car to, process through how this attack felt like it happened to her and how it affected her and how she was going to choose to respond. And she said, the next day I went out, I put applications in for multiple different places. And she's like, and I even decided to use this as an opportunity to apply for positions that I maybe would have felt were out of reach before. And I think by the end of that day, She said she had found a new job as a manager and was being paid more than she was at the previous job. So she took that opportunity to better herself. Now, could she have sat there for weeks being a victim to the office gossip? Could she have fought this and talked about how life isn't fair? Sure. But instead, she chose to use the opportunity that was before in front of her to level up. And I am encouraging you, whatever position you're in, whatever situation that's happening to you this March as you're clearing out and getting ready for a brand new cycle, a brand new season of change. How do you want to respond? What is your goals? What are your intentions? How do you want to end this year? And what do you have in your field that maybe, or in your foundation, or in your belief system, or in your environment that are preventing you from really achieving that goal? And how can you use these triggers that are happening in front of you to move forward? What are they pointing out to you? What are they trying to tell you? And this can show up for you in so many different ways. It can show up as these external events that you weren't expecting, news that came in that feel like they completely blindsided you. It can come to you in a simple moment at the office when someone says that one thing that drives you completely bonkers, and you have to decide, am I going to respond the same way that I always have, or am I going to choose to let this go? Am I going to choose to process through what is causing such a powerful reaction to something so small? And do I want to continue carrying that energy around with me? It can happen in dreams. Maybe you'll have a dream about something and it will be a way for your unconscious mind to say, hey, look at this belief. What was at the bottom of that dream? What was the feeling? When you journal about that dream afterwards, what comes to your mind? Why do you think that happened? How can you use this information? Spirit sends you information all over too. They send you signs, they send you repeating animals, they send you numbers, I'm sure you have all heard me talk about how you can create your own language with spirit, and they will use those different signs and symbols that you guys have cultivated to give you signs on whether you're on the right direction or what maybe you should check out instead, or how you can maybe pivot just a little bit over here. They're always there. They're always willing to help you out. So if you are like me, going through an interesting March, I highly recommend you tap into your intuition. I highly recommend that you tap into your amazing, powerful spiritual community that can't wait to assist you. And because I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about today, I did ask Spirit if they could just give me some cards to identify for you what you may need to hear during your transition month. And it was kind of interesting because they ended up giving me 4 cards, which reminded me of my clarity reading that I offer on my website, yararose.com. And it seems to fit perfectly with where I'm at, what I've been seeing in my experience, and basically what I've already just told you. But I just want to use that as validation. This is what they've saying. This is what they're saying to you. You know, what is your clarity this month? What is the energy of the seasons changing from winter to spring, at least where we are in the northern hemisphere over here? And the very first card they gave me was change, and it's dragonfly spirit. And the dragonfly spirit is often used as a sign from those loved ones of yours that have passed on. So if dragonflies remind you of someone specifically, then that's them giving you a wink right here. And I also just want to read this whole message from the guidebook. And this is the Denise Linn Sacred Forest Oracle Guidebook, because it was the most prominent card and because it is the card that I feel best represents the opportunities available for us this month. Dragonfly Spirit Change. This card is letting you know that it's all right to change directions. It's okay to change your mind. You do not need to be consistent at every turn. This is the time to put the traditions and expectations of others aside. Instead, you are called to create your own traditions. You are free to express yourself and let your spirit fly. Dragonflies are acrobats of the sky. Not only can they fly backward, they can fly upside down and turn 360 degrees, and while looking graceful as they do so, Dragonfly Spirit urges you to take on the same fearless daring. Go beyond predictable behavior. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it needs to continue to be done that way. While you can't control the exact circumstances of your life, you can control what meaning you give to them. Select meanings that empower you for this is the time to be carefree, wild, and unpredictable. Dragonflies are ancient, taking to the skies 300 to 350 million years ago. They have adapted through millennia and thus survived when many creatures have not. These masters of change are a reminder that change will heal you. The spirit of the dragonfly says, be willing to change your perspective and good fortune will follow. Sometimes you need to back up to go forward. As people get older, they find it is harder to change. So, to activate youthfulness, be willing to make changes without hesitation. To me, that is confirming that the energy of this season is about change, about what you're willing to let go of, about how you're willing to do things differently to achieve what you want to achieve, and the contributing factors. So, basically, the overall theme for how you can achieve whatever you're trying to achieve is be willing to adapt, be willing to change. Like I said, be willing to let go of what no longer serves you to move forward in a way that will serve you better, if that makes any sense. And then the contributing factors that maybe are making it harder and more challenging for you to be the dragonfly, to be open to change, were the winter retreat spirit guardian, summer expansion spirit guardian, and the dragon, which is about power. So I'm not going to read the whole thing for all of them, but I'm just going to read the summary at the very bottom for each one. So you can kind of see how these three factors filter up into the change. The spirit guardian of winter says, enter the silent, deep place within you, renew, retreat, and repair your body, items, and relationships. Examine your life and make adjustments as needed. Watch your nocturnal dreams. Meditate, look for messages from spirit. Next one was the dragon, the power. Within you dwells the remarkable power to manifest your dreams, gain great riches, and activate ancient wisdom. Take back your power and express your strength and grace. And the last card is the Spirit Guardian of Summer. Work with passion. Don't hold back. Take positive steps in the direction of your dreams now in order to reap the harvest later. Your hard work will result in abundance, bounty, and beauty. Celebrate, enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, what does that mean? It means that in order to move forward with your life in the direction that you choose to go, you need to take a step back, retreat a little bit into yourself to figure out where you are, where you want to go, take inventory of what may or may not need to be altered, repaired, fixed, and find the stability there and do make the mends and the repairs there so that way you are ready to make that change when that opportunity comes. The dragon is about seeing where you've let your power be taken from you, either by someone else or maybe by simply not standing up for yourself in situations where you could. Maybe you are playing small somewhere in your life because it is easier to keep the peace than to express yourself. But by doing that, you're giving your power away. And in order for you to be able to have the energy and the power to move forward with this direction that you are being given this opportunity to do so, you need to have that power. You need to be willing to stand. You need to be willing to move forward. You need to be willing to sacrifice the program of going along just to get along. And the summer is just a reminder to seize those moments when they come, to work with what you're passionate about. Because when you work with the energy of something that you have passion for, that you're excited to deal with, that you have fun working at, you are going to be in a better space and have more flexibility and energy simply to make the changes that you want to make to move forward on with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. I really hope that that helps clarify somewhere in your life. It gives you like like a light bulb moment, like, oh, maybe this is what I could do. Or maybe when you hear what each card is signifying, you're like, oh, you can identify that this is what it's talking about in your life. And this is what this one's talking about. And oh, I didn't even think about doing that, but I could try doing that and see if that helps me feel a little bit better with what's going on around you right now, with where you are, because you are where you are. And that's the perfect place for you to start making these changes. The purpose of this card spread is to help gain clarity on what your next steps are, or maybe what's preventing you from taking those next steps or seeing them or receiving them. So I'm hoping that at least one of these triggered something for you, or awakened something for you, or opened up possibilities for you to understand where you are right now just a little bit better. When I was asking myself today what I wanted to do, I kept getting the answer. I want to have fun. I want to do something that makes me smile. I want to do something that fills my heart with love and joy and vibrancy. And I want to give you that same message today because the energy that we're in right now, if you're here with me, it can feel a little heavy at times. It can feel a little trying. It can feel a little challenging, but that doesn't mean that you have to let it get you down. It doesn't mean that you have to surrender your fun. It doesn't mean that you need to get bogged down in all these details and all these different things. Yes, you want to seize the opportunity to release these limiting beliefs. You want to seize these moments of being able to say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. You want to seize this opportunity to do whatever it is, right? So you have to have fun too. You have to do what makes you feel good. Make sure to find time to enjoy each day. Make sure to take a moment to just be outside, to see the elements, to interact with spirit and the universe and enjoy the morning air or the evening air or whatever it is that you get outside. Just be there, be in that moment and enjoy where you are because there's always going to be other opportunities for growth. There's always going to be different seasons. Life continues on, it doesn't stop. So make sure that you have fun. Make sure that you're enjoying every single step of the process. I really hope that my message today helped my listeners. I hope that if nothing else, it helps you to understand that you're not alone and that I love you and that you are on the brink of some of the most amazing opportunities. And I just can't wait to hear about them. So continue on. I love you all and I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for being my something fun today. Love you. And I wish you the most love, light, and inspiration. With all of my love, Yara Rose.